Yo, what up, everybody? It's Crypto Oki. Let's go. Let's go. All right. So, everybody saw what happened in the market last night. Crazy. And look at this, already recovering. So, that's incredible. It's really incredible market. I love it. Crypto Twitter completely turned on our boy Trump. Idiots. Never question Trump. Never. If you haven't learned that by now, not going to make it. Some people expose themselves for being complete idiots and terrible traders at the same time. So, and I love it because there's some cryptos held up much better than other cryptos. So it really showed you, I think it really showed us XRP, Stellar, Monero to be market leaders. Absolutely. Litecoin, okay. I wouldn't say it's great. And ETH absolutely shit the bed, along with most of the other cryptos. Some making new lows, definitely giving up all the gains since Trump's election. But again, if you were in Ripple, Stellar, I mean, here we go. Let's just look at it. Monthly, let's just talk about. We'll go with Monero first, and then we'll rip into these idiots later. But no. I was getting I'm just a little bit worried about Monero sometimes with the order book. The chart looks great. And looking at the monthly, I love that it held January's low, even though we're only 3 days in now. But I'm glad it held that low. That's a good sign. Obviously, pushing up is great. Looking at the weekly, yeah, I got a little bit worried after it started to break last week's lows, just not knowing what this thing would do in a way. If it would, I don't know if it will, retest all this 180 level. That would definitely be a bounce area, but this, just because of this, the way the market bounced, I want it to go up at this point. Retesting the lows would be very bearish to me. So as long as we can hold these lows, we're good. Obviously, some cryptos will probably make new lows, but for the ones I'm talking about, I think we should be good in the clear, hopefully. I mean, that's a beautiful candle. Again, we're only 1 day. We're not even 1 day in. It's crazy. So a lot left to see. It's definitely a fun market right now. The 20 crossing above the 200, that's excellent. Yeah, looking good here for Monero. And Monero probably had one of the least drops out of all of them. I mean, I guess we'll just do it from Saturday, 21%, which is not bad. Didn't even take out these lows well above the 200-day moving average. So Monero is absolutely looking very strong. Let's see how it plays out today. Let's see, I think we broke the 200 for a minute, got above it, broke below it, and above it again. So let's see how this holds and kind of reacts. I'm definitely not expecting it to just go up right away. I think we need to kind of figure some stuff out before going higher, but we definitely don't want to go, below 200 here. So, yep, that's my Monero. Let's just check it against Bitcoin before we move on, and we'll check it in reverse, okay? Yeah, so here we go. This trend line, again, holding the trend line, but again, could it break? Definitely could break. Holding the 200 on the 4-hour. The daily, I moved this line up because this is kind of the new kind of breakout line. We're we'll see what happens today, but we're kind of holding the first breakout. But we did come below the 200 now, looking like we're going to close below it again. So the next few days should be interesting. But again, holding the trend line, so that's good for now. And the weekly, again, kind of like the monthly, against the US dollar. It held last week's gain. So I like that. Hopefully this 20 can move up, and I just like this kind of double bottom action. So I'm pretty happy with Monero right there. Let's go to XRP. Absolutely wicked candle the other day. I saw somebody said the most hourly volume ever for Ripple last night. So here's the monthly. Kind of makes sense to retest the top over here. What is that? Yeah, that's and then it went down and took out the last 2 months lows. So everybody who was long liquidated got liquidated. I mean, who was long from these areas. Didn't touch the 20. That's interesting. But yeah, that's all in one day too. That's not even a real weekly candle. So we'll see how it closes this week. Here's the daily. I mean, again, Monero fell 21%. We'll take it from 3 days back. 41%. That's crazy. And then after, it opened yesterday, it just kept falling. And look at this. I mean, it's pretty amazing, to be honest. Okay, so we opened at 257, fell 79 cents, and now we're up a couple cents. So a lot of day left. Obviously, we'll see how it goes. A lot of week left, but this is kind of what we want to see. In a way, in a way is what we see. 4 hours. Of course, we want to see it go up, but if it's going to be a liquidation event like that, really very, very little time. You had less than 4 hours essentially to buy it under 225. You had 3 candles here, but you get what I'm saying. Very, very little time. And to get it under $2, even though it went to 178, you had so little time. So this is what we want to see. Again, not expecting it to just go up to $3 anytime soon. The 20 crossing the 200 in a bearish posture. Retest this, something, bam, up higher into mid late February. I was expecting a pullback, but not this, and that's crypto for you. I even said yesterday on the stream, I was like, oh yeah, I put in I was like, wow, we have this descending triangle, head and shoulders top, and the measured move was about $1,000 from this 3,000. So that would take us down to 2,000. I was like, oh, that's probably not going to happen. And it didn't happen, actually. Went to 2,100, but that's crazy. But yeah, you can see ETH. Here. So again, looking at the Trump pump beginning, with his election win, ETH actually gave up all of its gains and then some. Ripple, obviously not. Even from, even if you panic sold the low, when Trump got into office here, we're at about 55 cents. You're still up 200. You're still up 375%. So, I'm loving this market. There's winners, there's losers, and I like it. I like the kind of the diversity in what's pumping versus what's not pumping. I think it's, again, if you can't beat Bitcoin, just stay in Bitcoin. There's no shame in that. No shame in that. ETH maxis, oof, tough. Let's look at it against Bitcoin. Essentially, and that's another interesting thing I'm starting to see is like on some of these charts, against Bitcoin, it almost looks like the US dollar chart because it's moving so volatile. Volatilely. I don't know. With so much volatility, I don't know how to use it, but so much validity. It's so volatile. It's Bitcoin has become like the dollar to it. Look, almost identical. So again, huge rally. Let's see if that's the low. would be great. I don't know. I can't say, but it would look like something like that. Here's the volume that we're kind of talking about. Oh, that's against Bitcoin. Let's look at it against. Let's look at it over here. Yeah. So again, big volume on the 4 hour. There was the crash. Oh no, tariffs. Justin Trudeau. Oh my gosh, Trump. Incredible. Crypto Twitter was out for blood against him. Oh my gosh. After loving him, it's because you're not in the right crypto and you don't know what you're doing, then you blame others. Oh, market manipulation. What even means market? What even does that mean? All right, enough of that. Stellar also looking great in a way. I mean, the rebound's looking great. I mean, crypto's still in kind of like a no man's land here, but it does appear that the bottom's in. It's just, look at how much is Stellar off the lows. It's up, over 37% off the lows. That's crazy. That's what you want to see. Let's see if we somehow kind of, yeah. Oh, yeah, you could do something like that. You could do something like that. I like it. I like it. I don't know if we have a downward channel, but I kind of like it. Look at the 4 hour. Probably looks similar to XRP, but probably a little worse. Yep. So we had that cross. That was that one day where it looked like it was coming back for us. But yeah, this is what you want to see on a bounce. Very strong bounce, very strong bounce. So if it's going to rebound, this is the bounce that you want to see. Let's look at it against Bitcoin. Against Ripple. It's, I'm still curious as to what's happening with XLM. This is against Ripple. And it had this, late November, had a great pump, has now broken the support. Is this the fake out or was this the fake out? We shall see. Let's get into now. Let's kind of go. I'm kind of going in, the strongest to least strongest. Litecoin. It is kind of coming back. It's a little bit disappointing here, taking out all these lows. Let's get the monthly. Yeah, it's back. Great close. Nothing terrible here, definitely. Weekly. So this is one that essentially, almost retested its breakout area against the, the Trump pump, the initial Trump pump. So not rebounding as well as some of the other ones, but rebounding with everybody. So it's definitely doesn't appear to be a leader in any sense. But yeah, we'll stay in this kind of triangle, this ascending triangle. I figured we'd broken it and it was kind of done for good, but we could do something like this. We'll see how today closes, but you could still be in this triangle, which would be pretty bullish, to go to the upside. Against Bitcoin, yeah, see, it is breaking. It's this, I can't make it, I don't think it's gonna, looks like it's breaking down on this symmetrical triangle. Could we get some sort of double bottom here? That's kind of what we would want to see since it has broken this triangle. But I would say you're going to get lower prices for Litecoin versus Bitcoin, whereas I don't think that's the case with Ripple, Stellar, and Monero. Exactly. Now let's look at ETH. Yep. Oh, I even was a little bit, okay, here we go. Got something brewing. Broke this kind of trend line. Not really. And then bam. But yeah, once that 20-week moving average, once you close below that, it's, I mean, I essentially consider it bearish unless the 20 really has a high steep slope, and it's an increasing slope for sure, but as you can see, it's more of even a neutral slope, especially now. So ETH, I think probably it'll be the below because of what we're kind of seeing out of the market, holding this trend line. But if this trend line breaks, I mean, it's over. And maybe that's the death of ETH, but probably not. And now I don't think anybody wants to call the bottom for ETH anymore. So, but now we have kind of this big ruin. You know, we could get this really big double top, head and shoulders type action. And, you know, now you got 3 distinct touches. Yeah, I mean, if you break this, again, capitulation. I don't know when ETH will catch a bid, but I'm not holding my breath for this one. Well below the 200 day moving average. There's your, you know, again, barely up from, well, there's the essentially what, Tuesday. I mean, we're literally at the same level of the Trump breakout. So pour one out for your ETH homies. I mean, let's just look kind of just to see. And that's, again, I mean, I should put a little cursor on this. Uni was really a strong one. Gave up all its gains. Again, here's November. So holding a little bit of the gains, but I mean, here below the Trump pump. Yeah, so a lot of these are below. I'll just point out one real quick that I'm kind of excited about, but these are sometimes tough to trade because they're so volatile. But I'm seeing this inverse head and shoulders on Spell, which is just a shitty shit coin, but it's pretty beautiful. It's huge. It's 143 weeks, so it's a 3-year base. Obviously, we need it to, you know, it's got to get above this 0.002-ish area to break out, but I do think it will. Just something to see. I don't know if I'll trade it, just because of the volatility in it and the fact that I really don't care about it or know anything. I mean, I know a little bit about it, but I really don't know anything about this. So just like the chart, thought I'd mention it. Another thing I want to mention here is I'm seeing a third consecutive sequential 9, which the 9 can be a topping pattern here, or topping indicator, I should say. And we're getting 3 in a row. So and this is on a monthly. So this is pretty important. I think it's going to be this month, next month, that the alt season really begins. That could have been the start of it. That really could have been. That was it. I mean, I'm seeing stuff that says we had more liquidated in the market yesterday than COVID-19. Of course, that's because the market is you know, bigger, not on a percentage scale, I'm sure, but in a millions or billions of dollar level. But again, we got first 1.9, 2.9, 3.9 with kind of a high wick. So let's see how this goes. I think this could be the top for the dominance chart for this cycle. I really do. I mean, the weekly already is looking kind of shooting star type action. I'll have to get my verbiage correct with this, but you know, this is interesting. We'll see how it closes and kind of what happens tomorrow and the next day. So it's going to be a fun week in crypto. A lot going on. I mean, this is pretty amazing. I mean, it was down 25%. So it closed yesterday at 257 again. Went down 30% last night and is now up almost 3%. So, you know, if there was a sign of the bottom, that's it. Again, never fade Trump. It's a losing battle. But also you got to, you know, pick the right cryptos. Okay, we're getting some selling on the Bitcoin chart. I wouldn't say it's anything to worry about too much. ETH, Bitcoin, nothing much. ETH USD, not much. You know, a lot of these things got so liquidated, you're really not going to see much. It's not like anybody had time to buy at some of these levels. It was mostly people just panic selling or getting liquidated. Oh, you're seeing some. Well, that's on the perpetual. So that one, you rarely see selling on the perpetual from Monero. So you're seeing some. So, I mean, again, if it is a bottom, that's what you want to see. But, you know, maybe people are already, oh, it's the bottom. So they're FOMOing in now. And I do, you know, I hardly believe we'll just go straight up to $3 without scaring us in some sense again, to maybe the mid $2, low $2 range for a Ripple. Yeah, I'd be surprised if it just kept going up, but that would be great. I think we'll have to scare some people to the downside, but I think that's all I have for us today on this glorious Monday. Yeah. So yeah. Oh, and then Bitcoin, of course, is, you know, holding this. But again, if we do, that's why it's like, I mean, at this point, the tough thing is like, if we do go lower, it's very bad. It's very bad. That's why I don't think it's going to happen, because I still think we're in a bull market. I don't think this is the top, but if it is, I mean, it's like game over. So we'll keep an eye out here. Great rebound. I mean, this is the rebound you want to see if the low's in. So I got to go with that as my what I'm leaning towards. But yeah. All right, everybody. Peace out. Let's go.